Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to finally discuss season 2 of HBO's original show Euphoria, based on the Israeli TV series of the same name. This is another 8 episodes long, came out in 22. First one came out in 19. So there's 3 years from the first season to the second season. I think like 2 months passed roughly within the first and the second season. Halloween party I know distinctly from the first season, and we start out on New Year's Eve at a New Year's Eve party season 2. So I'm very curious how season 3 is going to start, whenever that starts production, whenever that is released, however many years from now that it actually happens. How do we talk about this? The end of this, Rue says she stayed clean through the rest of the rest of the school year, and it's presumed that they're all seniors because they're all 17. Main cast is 17 in this. So in hindsight, they could be 17 in 11th grade. I don't actually know what grade they're in now that we're talking about it. They always talk about age all the time, but I think I missed the part where they say the grade. So we're continuing on. Rue's relapsed, right? So she's hanging out with this new druggie, Elliot. He plays music. She starts to like him, but Jules is back now after leaving her on the train station. And then Jules starts to like Elliot, and then Jules and Rue are still together, but then they're not together. And then there's this whole intervention thing. Very interesting. A lot of screaming back and forth. Zendaya does a fantastic job with the acting of this character. It's a very hard character to like because she's harming herself throughout the entirety of this. She knows that she shouldn't be using this drug, using this substance that is very selfish of her, but she does it anyway. She doesn't understand why she's doing it. So it's a lot of, why am I the way I am? In the last 2 episodes, Lexi is putting on a play at the school, and it's a lot of self-reflection in regards to the cast of the main kids that were involved in it. So it's neat having that self-reflection that she can see sitting in the audience, watching her story told from a different character's name, basically. But having that conversation with Lexi at the end, thanking her for it, because she finally gets to see who she is, in a sense, that self-reflection that she always needed, that she never had. So that was neat, having a little wrap-up. Nate just being a terrible person throughout the thing. Again, Jacob does an incredible job with that terrible character. He's hooking up with Cassie, while Maddie's still trying to get back together with him. It's a very weird dynamic of the 3 of them. Maddie's doing her own thing with babysitting this rich kid, hanging out with the mom a lot. So that was interesting. Kat is dating Ethan, but then she can't stand how nice he is because she needs more drama, more peril in her life. So she breaks up with him. He plays Cassie and Lexi's mom in the play. Does a great job. Very, very entertaining throughout that. I'm just trying to think of like certain things that like popped up throughout. The end of season 1, I said that Lexi and Fezco were the coolest characters, because you're like, and I said this in the first season, that it's hard to like these characters because they're doing terrible things to themselves and to each other, and then complaining why, oh, woe is me. But it's like, bro, you're doing this and you know you're not supposed to do this, and you're doing it anyway. So I don't feel sympathy for you, because you knew that there would be consequences to your actions. You knew that. So I can't have sympathy for you if you knew that there'd be consequences. So Lexi, I said, is just listening and trying to be better amongst herself, but observing, and Mona Apatow does a great job with that character. And then the kid who plays Fezco is kid. Everybody's old. Does a great job playing that character, and them meeting on New Year's, and them having, cutesy hangout times throughout, and then the big stuff with Vesco and Ash, and then this new character Faye at the end with the SWAT team. That was wild, bro. I did not expect that. That was hard to watch. But certain things were very slow in this season compared to the first season. A lot of stuff dragged, but there was character development, there was character arc, there was backstories that I did not think I would ever need. The first episode of season 2, we get very quickly a backstory of how Ashtray and Fezco came together as siblings. That Fezco's grandmother raised him since the age of like 10 or something like that, because his dad was a horrible person. So she shoots the dad at the strip club, and then takes him and then brings him into the drug empire that she's helping to run, that she is running. And then now he's taking care of her because of the medical ailments that she has in that vegetable state. So it was an amazing backstory of this grandmother that I didn't know I needed nor wanted, and it was just so cool seeing this. Then we have the backstory of Cal's character, Nate's horrible father, in the beginning of season 2, episode 3. There we go. How he started to question his sexual orientation in high school. That he started to like his best friend Derek, and but the two of them couldn't move forward because it was the early '90s, and how dare society, right? So, and their families, or mid '90s, excuse me. So they wind up dating girls, and then the two of them wind up going to a gay bar on graduation night, celebrating, dancing together, finally kissing one another, like into each other. And then the next morning, after they're together, Cal gets the phone call from the girlfriend saying that she's pregnant with the first son, Aaron, older brother to Nate. And then that just ruins Cal's life. And then he has to now deal with having sex with everybody behind the scenes. And he says he's just sleeping with everyone in that whole pissing contest in the foyer after he says, I'm done with this. We're done with this. No. So it was neat showing the character development of that character, but it doesn't explain the pedophilia and why he needs to record all of that. It's still a creepy thing. And yes, Nate does have that change at the end where he gives Jules the copy, he gives the police the rest of it to then arrest his father for all of this stuff. But what was the immediate change explained as the fact that Nate realized he shouldn't be protecting this horrible person, aka his father. He should be helping those who his father abused. So he's trying to make amends on that front to put himself back to where he was pre-11, discovering this on the dad's computer. But he's still a horrible person to Matt. He's still a horrible person to Cassie. How do we how do we see a redemption arc for this horrible person who's doing horrible things on one side but doing a redemption aspect of another thing? Does one cancel out the other? I don't know. It's weird. It's a good conversation piece, but it's weird. So, going back to that, beginning of season 3, watching the two high schoolers, Derek and Cal, have their romps and go out for milkshakes and dance together and check each other out in the locker room and stuff like that. Just sitting out, laying on the beds, on their stomachs, laying on their beds, talking about their days. It was so freaking adorable. It was so adorable. And I'm watching this, I'm like, bro, why is there no high budget, gay romance film about high schoolers in the 90s? Like, that would be such an incredibly well done time period piece. But have it that they can actually be together. Don't have it that they have to be shamed and hide who they truly are. Have it that they can celebrate with the floppy hair and the cut off t-shirt with the hoodie, the cut off sleeves of the hoodie. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Like that style would work so well in a rom-com kind of setting. It's just funny. It's just really funny how when you're watching one thing and it triggers something else, and you're like, whether it's a memory or a wish. And this was a wish. I was like, bro, this would be such an incredible film if it was actually a film, because HBO is a big production company and they have that high budget and they have that high quality of camera work and stuff like that. So it'd be really cool. And we saw that with the set design in the high school production was pure set design for actual filming. It was just so wonderful, chef's kiss to that. So that's what the whole, yes, the story and character development of who's sleeping with who and who's backstabbing whom when and who's cheating on whom and all these things, right? As the characters we all know and love do throughout season 2. I kept going to the beginning of season 2, episode 3, and I was like, bro, what if we had a story of two high school seniors who were best friends since birth, and then they finally realized that he and he are meant for each other and they can go on their way and be happy together. I'm cheering already. It hasn't even come out yet, but I'm cheering already. It would be a great timepiece. It'd be a great love story. It has to happen. So, aside from me fanboying about that future inevitable gay 90s rom-com plot point, inspired, of course, by what we saw about the two seniors just laying on their stomachs on Cal's bed, talking about their day. It was just so freaking adorable. I loved it. It was great. So, continuing on. I didn't force myself to watch Euphoria. I wanted to watch Euphoria for a long time. But since 2022, when season 2 came out, so many memes just circulated the interwebs, and I'm like, I know it's from Euphoria, but I don't know the context of it. So like the two big things from Euphoria meme wise are, is this effing Play About Us, right? But the actual, we're not bleeping. So that meme that Maddie says constantly memed everywhere. And then when Maddie is checking herself out, no, when Cassie's checking herself in the mirror, and everybody's saying, "Are you auditioning for Oklahoma?" and she's like, "Do I look like I'm auditioning for Oklahoma?" Like, that whole thing is very memed. So like, I knew that bathroom meme, and I knew the auditorium meme, and I just wanted to know where it comes from. They both come from season 2, so we finally got it. We finally got there. We finally got the. I think the Oklahoma meme is actually episode 3 that I was just raving about, the beginning of episode 3. So it's just fun seeing where memes started, memeology, if you will. I've always wanted a TV show to do that, dive into the origins of certain memes, or what meme started from this meme, which started from that meme, because there's a chain of memes. So certain memes have chains. And I've always wanted a host to travel and like talk to the creators or like the people inspired by it. Like, did you expect that you would be gift 1,000 times, within a second? So I always thought it was funny. So that's why I wanted to do my own research. I wanted to see where these memes came from. And of course, Euphoria's won a bunch of Emmys constantly. Zendaya is an incredible talent. She's a triple threat: dancer, actor, singer. She does an amazing job with this Rue character, and that's why she deserves all the Emmys that she's won, especially though she's an exec producer on it. She could do anything she wants with this show, anything. So that's why I said I'm very curious what happens with season 3, because at the end of season 2, she says I was clean through the rest of the year. So are they just juniors? Are they actually seniors? Are they going to start college? Did I miss something? I don't remember. I'm sure I can look it up, but I don't really need to. We'll wait till season 3. We'll see what happens next. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.